Man United is advanced in talks to sign Adrien Rabiot as a free agent. The wages have been agreed. I'll give you details of that. Meanwhile, Aaron Bissaka has officially made it clear that he's waiting on West Ham as he is open to the idea of joining the Londoners. Welcome to the United Sport. My name is Webb. Here is a late night or early morning update concerning the big football club Manchester United. The latest is about Adrien Rabiot, who has been a very wanted player by Eric Ten Hag and the Glazers. Even before he joined, rather even before Ineos joined Manchester United, they did show interest in Adrien Rabiot, but on several occasions he was turning down the idea of joining Manchester United as he stuck with Juventus. Now, after failing to come to terms to agree on a new contract extension, a new contract with Juventus, Rabiot leaves as a free agent and he was linked to several clubs, including Manchester United. Now, what is happening now is that Rabiot is in talks with Man United, and they seem to have reached somewhere when it comes to his wages and his other demands, because he wants the sign-on bonus, that is one, but also he wants to earn between 130 and 145,000 pounds per week. So thereabout, which you think really, whereas our wage bill has been, shockingly high, we needed to reduce it. It's only second behind Man City. We're at 3.2 million pounds per week. Man City is, I think, around 3.7 million pounds per week. United can afford really to give an experienced player of Adrien Rabiot's stature 140,000 pounds per week. He's worth it, honestly. He's from Juventus, where he has been an important player. He's a Euro semi-finalist with France. He's 29, ripe age. He comes in with a lot of experience. He's a classy player. People have been questioning whether United need him or not. I think for me, the only issue I had with Rabiot before was the fact that he turned United down. But after learning what United has been like with the Glazers, I cannot blame a player of his status for staying with Juventus and not joining the rot that we had, honestly. He probably even called Cristiano and was asking him what is there, and he's telling him, with this old guys, you want to go. It's not you improving in your career. So for me, I have no issues with Adrien Rabiot. And given the fact that Man United are going to lose definitely some midfielders, the likes of uh, Christian Eriksen, who will, we will virtually lose for free. 5 million euros is peanuts, really. It can't buy a single player. It's okay to replace him with another free player who is younger and probably fresh and hotter and fresher and probably better. Solves the problem that we have, because we've had a problem in the midfield for a long time. He brings a different dimension. There is a lot that Kobe Maino can learn from Adrien Rabiot. I feel like it's only positive for Man United to get a player like Rabiot at this point in time. That experience in the middle will come in handy. So for me, it's a good conversations. Now, people have been asking, does it then mean that Manu is giving up on Manuel Ugarte? No. Rabiot is being added to the fold, but the plan is there, the budget is there to sign Manuel Ugarte as the marquee number 6 we bring in. So Rabiot is coming in to replace probably the likes of Eriksen, who could leave. Scott McTominay perhaps might be replaced most likely by Ugarte, because as it seems, Casemiro seems to be staying put for some little bit of time. So don't really think that that Rabiot is the option now, that it's Rabiot coming ahead of Manuel Ugarte. That's not the case. So that's a beautiful update, really, if you ask me. You can give me your 2 cents about it, whether you're excited by that. But also, for Rabiot now is also probably a case of we don't have so much money to bring in so many players. Like I said, even if we sell a midfielder, it will most probably be two, Scott McTominay and Eriksen, who can give us a combined probably 40 million euros tops. What can that do? Can only sign us Ugarte. We probably even need to top up on that, because PSG seem to be holding out for a lot. Or even at the very worst, we could even be getting Ugarte on loan, but with an obligation to buy him. So we don't really have so much money to spend on midfielders. The only hope we had to get significant money was in Casemiro, whose move is becoming impossible. There doesn't seem to be any progress when it comes to Casemiro leaving. So it's a whole confusion that, I mean, getting a player like Rabiot for free would be a proper bargain, honestly, for United right now. Now, there's another one that has just dropped, that Elon Wan Bissaka, on whom the arrival of Nusayr Mazraoui will all depend. Is open to joining West Ham now. He had turned down the idea before. He's open to it now, and is waiting for them to present their offer to him so that he can see if they can agree on personal terms with him, of course, and the club. And after that, of course, Man U and West Ham, I think it won't be a difficult one. They'll just proceed and then seal off the deal so that he leaves and Man United go and bring on their man from Bayern, with whom they agreed personal terms, and he already communicated to Bayern that he wants to leave immediately. So that's what's happening. It's the latest coming in when it comes to Ahmad, rather to Aaron Wan Bissaka. And then another one that has just dropped is Ahmad talking about his future. He's saying that he would be happy to stay and play at Manchester United all his life. This is Ahmad coming out to drop that statement. My feeling is that soon, and I've said it here before, Ahmad is in the final year of his contract. The feeling is that when all is done, when everything is settled, they are going to call him and try to have a new conversation with him. They will hold new contract talks with him to see if they can try and keep him around for a bit longer. So I think it's a a very good thing to see that Ahmad feels like he's appreciated now, that his time has come, that perhaps now Erik ten Hag has got a clear plan for him. I don't see Man United really seeming like they are looking for a winger to play in Ahmad's position or someone to play on the right. Probably they've admitted that Ahmad is the guy now to trust and give the mantle to create from the right. So it's a good place for him to be at. So I expect contract talks to be going on. Some beautiful update on Lenny Yoro because he trained today. So his injury, the foot injury he suffered, wasn't that bad after all. So it's probably a good place for him and for, of course, any Manchester United supporter, knowing that he's okay. He's relatively okay. So the next game, Man United Liverpool, will be taking place at 2:30 a.m. That's of course uh, early morning in the US. So you certainly have got to keep it fresh. If you're going to be able to enjoy that game, you've got to be fresh to be able to catch that game. So that's a bit of what has just come in. Of course, Scott McTominay as well is also linked to a move away to Fulham. We are waiting on a bid from Fulham, most probably to come in soon. So be sure of something to do with him. So it's pretty much what's happening. It's pretty much what's going on surrounding Manchester United. But for the Rabiot, I needed to clearly give you the what's going on, the proper idea of what's happening with Rabiot. It's not they are not choosing him over Ugarte. Ugarte is still bound to happen because we also know that PSG, I think it's nearly here we go. PSG signing Joao Neves. I think tomorrow it will be done. The talks everything has been okay. It seems today they went, I think, into deeper details and everything looked to be smooth. And what is expected now is for them to, of course, agree on the date for the boys' medical. When that's done, the green light probably will be given to Man United to then proceed and bring their plan, either taking Ugarte on loan or getting him on a permanent fee immediately. But either way, the plan for Paris Saint-Germain is to lose Manuel Ugarte for good, either now, immediately, or at the end of next season. That's an obligation to buy him on a permanent. So it's probable, and of course, there are people who will be worried, saying that if United bring Ugarte, you have got Kobe, then Bruno, and then this 29-year-old Rabiot. Then what's the plan? Yeah, it's a rotation. The depth, the more depth you have, and Erik ten Hag made it clear that the plan this season is to have more depth. That's one of the demands he gave to Ineos. It's the promise and commitment they gave him. They will bring him the depth he needs, and that way he won't have excuses, because Erik ten Hag wants to have that headache. That selection headache is what he was praying for, and he's going to have it in plenty. And I think that's what has made Man City different. That's what was trying to make Arsenal competitive. Without that depth in all departments, it's always going to be difficult for you to compete with the very best because of the intensity of the game. So the fact that Man U will be playing the Premier League, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, wanting to win everything, you've got to be able to keep players fit. For you to do that, you should be rotating them. So meaning you need to have so many players who are close to the same level. even the Kobe's, he might be untouchable, but there are games where he has got to rest for other players to come and start so that he's fresh for the next game. You keep him fresh all throughout the season. It's a high intensity battle that these clubs involve themselves in or indulge in, that without depth you can't handle. You can't handle. You will capitulate at some point. So that's what's happening. Drop down your comment and let me know whether you think Adrien Rabiot is as good as any Manchester United player can be. Let me catch you later, fam.